said jealousy, I said more money, more problems like B, I said, and yo, I stick to the blueprint, walking like a talker, gotta wear it if the shoe fits, keeping up became a nuisance.
What's good, everybody? DJ TMac here for another great hip-hop conversation. Another dope artist in the building, and not the first time that he's been here on my channel, on the podcast. Everybody say what's good to Izzy Hott. Izzy, how you doing, bro? Welcome back.
What's the word, T-Mac? How you doing, my brother? Happy New Year. How you feeling?
Happy New Year, man. Hey, it's day one of the new year. We getting right to work, man. I'm feeling good. You know, been on a roll myself with interviews and getting to work. And, you know, you seem to be getting on that same wave as well, man. Putting out some good work.
Yes,
Game Not Sold just dropped, man. I love it. Talk about it.
Yeah, Game Not Sold, man. Musalini, Izzy Hott, the long anticipated collab album. I mean, you know, me and Moose been getting busy together for a few years. I've been showing up on his project since back then, since MSG, you know what I mean? And we just been putting in that work, man. Salute to Moose, man, for everything he doing and shit, you know what I mean? And shining the light on his mans and shit, you know, to put in that work too. And get my due, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Like you said, or you said something similar to the effect of highly anticipated album. That's what I have here. You know, even in our first interview in May of 2021, you mentioned, you know, the collab album. So it's something I definitely been looking forward to for a while. And, you know, the fans of Moose and Pharaoh Music Group in general as well. And just fans of the underground. What was the reaction like when it first dropped, and what has it been since?
Nothing less than what was expected, man. We knew we had some fire shit. Like, you know, the mix of me and Moose together, you know, it kind of makes for a different type of album. You know what I'm saying? It got the same sauce of Moose, but, you know, it got the versatility that comes with Izzy Hott. You know what I'm saying? And we just gave the people some dope vibing music. You know what I mean?
Dope vibes, really. That's what it is throughout the whole project. I like that it's a little bit longer of a project.
Yeah,
A lot of songs, a lot of good vibes, man, and truly not a skippable song for me. People say that for a lot of albums, but like this one, really front to back, there's no reason to change any of the songs, man. Beats are fire, smooth vibes and lyrics throughout, man. It's just good stuff. Good stuff.
it's getting well received, man. I mean, we're doing 35,000 on Spotify right now.
That's great. Nice.
Yeah, it's fire.
It's interesting. I was looking at the plays of which tracks sort of were getting more plays. So let's table this talk for right now and talk about sort of the work that's been put in before this album dropped, sort of maybe between our last conversation and this conversation. So you had a few features on Musalini albums, including In God We Trust, which was his collab album with 38 Spesh. You're on a few tracks on there, and also Don and I and Pure Ism as well. We can't forget that. That was the newer one that came out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Pure. Shout out to Khrysis. You know, Ninth, 38 Spesh. You know what I mean? Allow me to jump on these projects, man. You know what I mean? Just shining the light, B. Let me do what I do. You know what I mean?
One of my favorites from the In God We Trust is Trust is Key. Your flow on that, man, is very different than what it typically is. That one was just real smooth. I really like that from you, how you kind of attack the beat there and the line, and I'm still mad they don't know who killed Big yet.
Salute.
Come on, man. It's too smooth with it. Don and I talk about it. Talk about, you know, working on those verses for that project specifically.
That Trust is Key record, that shit was kind of funny because it was the first night that I kind of met Spesh. I went to the studio with Moose. And you know, he was like, yo, you know, this is my man's and shit on my label, whatever's my artist. And I just jumped on the record for the first time. And after that, I fucking recorded the verse, you know, nigga Spesh stopped the fucking beat and was like, yo, Moose, who the fuck is this nigga? And I was like, like, yo, like, I guess he was feeling the beat too, you know what I mean? And made the project. I mean, made the project. So shout out to Spesh, man, for real.
Talk about, you know, sort of everything else that's been happening since our last conversation. Like I mentioned, you know, doing all the features, getting Game Not Sold together, I'm sure, but sort of also touring. I mean, we got to talk about the Don and I tour as well.
The Don and I tour, man. Shout out to Ninth and Moose and everybody that was on that tour. Seven U's, and I mean, old Finesse, and I mean, Grand Combo. And I mean, you yourself, you DJed for me. You know what I mean? On tour, I appreciate you so much for that. And I mean,
Absolutely, man. That was a lot of fun.
yeah. We hit a lot of cities, man. And that shit was wonderful. It was a dope experience.
Mhm.
I
I
mean,
did DJ for you in Colorado Springs. That was a lot of fun. And man, that
yeah,
jacket you wore that night, that was ooh. I love
yeah.
that jacket, bro. Don't wear that around me, bro.
Damn,
You gotta get a
damn.
size check on that, man. That one is fire. That was a fire
No
fit.
problem, G. No problem. I appreciate that, man.
Hey, so what was like your favorite stop on the tour? You know, you went to a whole bunch of different states, maybe some places that you haven't been before. I don't think, have you been to Utah before?
Nah, hell no. Never, never even thought I would ever even go over there for any reason, but it
Right.
was dope. It was well received by the people there. LA was just crazy. LA was definitely the one that kind of opened my eyes to what the shit could really be and the potential that niggas got, you know, doing this music shit. You know what I mean? So definitely LA. And who else? North Carolina was fired too. I ain't
North
gonna
Carolina. Yep. Yep.
it was fired too. And
Homecoming show for Jamla. So the people came out for that and supported, I'm sure.
let's not forget hometown though. SOBs.
Oh, that was
SOB.
the first one.
Yeah, that was the first one. That shit kind of started it off. I ain't even gonna lie.
Hmm. Hmm.
That was it. That was the one that started it off. But between SOBs, LA, and North Carolina, those would probably be the top three. That
Nice, dude. Nice. Any I see a little bit of hints about tour in 2023. You're going to be hitting some dates as well. You guys going on back on tour again? Any information you can give us about that?
yeah, Musalini got a first upcoming show on the 21st in North Carolina. I'll be heading out there, so the fella's gonna be out there. Pharaoh Music gonna be out there. I might be here in the stage. I might not be here in the stage. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. But we definitely
Okay.
gonna be out there. We definitely gonna be out there rocking out. And as far as the tour comes, there might be one. I have no clue. I have no clue. There might be one. There may not be one. But let's see. You know what I mean?
All right, all right. We're waiting. We're waiting. You know,
Yeah.
you guys definitely got to come to Colorado again. That's a stop on every tour, I'm sure.
It's a must. That's a must for
That's a
real.
must. So we're looking forward to that, man. I'm making a lot more connections around here, so you know we could put together a real dope show with some local guys. You guys on tour, it would be a lot of fun.
But if I'm gonna come to Colorado, you have to rock out with me again, son.
Of course,
Please.
man. No question.
All right,
No,
say that.
no question, man. We're gonna get in some more practice too. We're gonna get a nice routine together.
Bye. Good.
Dope, man. I'm looking forward to it. So tour was really dope. What else? You know, you're doing the guest features.
Doing the guest features, man. I'm just bodying these features, man. Just trying to, get the name up. I've been working on my own joints as well. I've been working with Khrysis and Soundtrack. My my in-house producers, Rewind, Calico, Fuego. Work is getting done, man. We getting ready to drop some joints in 2023.
Solo project coming 2023, possibly.
Oh, of course, of course. That's a must. That's a
Nice,
must.
dude. What?
I mean,
So the last solo project, was that early 21 that came, or was that 2020?
that was 21.
21.
20.
Okay, yeah. So man, you know, we're real happy to get this game not sold. It's been on repeat, but that solo Izzy, people are definitely waiting for. So man, anytime we got any information about that, send it over this way, bro.
Got it. You got it. Absolutely.
So we talked Don and I tour. We talked some of your features. Let's get into, you know, Game Not Sold, the reason why we're really here today. You know, I'd like to do a nice album breakdown with you. It seems like Pharaoh Music Group really formed like Voltron for this, man. The producers killed the entire thing. Let's just start right there. Speaking of the producers and the music, talk about sort of the beat selection process. How did that go for it?
Well, we had the approach for this project that, we really wanted to keep it like an in-house project. You know what I mean? So between me, Moose, and Rewind, we curated the album and put it together. And, we were just picking beats from, all the different producers, putting these tracks together. And we did a whole bunch of songs and narrowed it down to, the ones we like the most. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it came about just like that. And we were real adamant about using the in-house producers for sure. We wanted this to be like a Pharaoh Music project. There's some, producers on there that's not part of Pharaoh Music, but the beats and the songs came out so dope. We were just like, yo, they just had to
You
go on
can't say
there.
no to a Ninth Wonder
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
Khrysis beat if it's offered for the
Nah, nah,
project, right?
for sure. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Shout out to them, and also, everybody else like Sean Kelly, Funk Shui, who else was on there? Self produced by herself, yeah, her Nev self, yeah, produced by
Calico on there as well. Up, Second Self. Yep. All really, it's just all killer stuff. Shout out to my man Marquise Walker. He's got a YouTube channel talking about underground hip hop, and he did a review of the album. And one thing that he said in the review is that you guys got to release the instrumentals. He enjoyed them so much that it's just something good to ride around to. That's something that used to happen a lot more in the 90s, maybe, releasing instrumentals or singles, coming out with like the instrumental version, clean version, all that different stuff. So, I mean, I'm just going to throw that out there, give it to the man, and see if anything like that could happen, give more shine to the producers. Everybody can make a little bit more bread too, maybe. So fire
Absolutely.
instrumentals, man. What do you think of that idea?
It was a wonderful idea, man. Why not?
Why
Why
not?
why
Why
not?
not?
Everybody can eat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
One thing I have here is that this is really a truly collaborative album. You guys have the exact same amount of verses. It really sort of is going back and forth, pretty much the same amount of hooks. Moose has a few more, but really no like solo tracks on the album. Can you talk about, the reason behind that or how these songs came to be how they are really?
Um, the reason for it, we just strictly wanted to keep it, collaborative. I mean, just strictly collaborative, me and Moose. Very few features. I mean, as you can see, it was very few features. We didn't use a lot of features, and especially features that we could have used. I mean, but we just wanted to keep it essential to our sound, and that's just how it was, man. Like I said, we did a whole bunch of tracks, and we narrowed it down to these, and we kind of wanted to keep that theme, the game not sold theme throughout the album.
Game Not Sold. So how the title is spelled is SOUL apostrophe D, not SOLD. Can you talk
Nah,
about the title and kind of how you guys came to that?
so the idea with Game Not Sold was for it to be us, like we're selling, we're giving you this game, but we're not selling our souls to give you this game. You know what I mean? We don't gotta sell our souls. We authentic to this shit. So that's what it is. The game is not sold. You know what I mean? We don't sell our souls to give you this game. So
Mm,
that's the reason behind the title.
absolutely, man. It really fits. It really does. This is a quintessential like Pharaoh Music Group project, I guess I would say, from the
Yeah.
sounds to the content, top to bottom.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So the way you described it, you're like, oh, me, Rewind, Moose, we got together, we picked the beats, and it came together. But like I said, this is something that's been mentioned for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it like sort of building it? I'm sure there were times where it was you guys were focused heavy on building it. Then it's like, oh, we got to focus on this for a little bit. What was
Yeah.
sort of that process from start to finish?
Well, keep in mind, Moose had a lot of other things going on too. He had his projects going on. He was working with Khrysis and his whole other joints. And I mean, so it was a long building process. And at the same time, I was getting that work in on the guest features and doing my own thing too, building up my catalog. I got a little catalog that hasn't been out yet. I've just been building, waiting for this project to come out. Cause this was like Moose's alley oop. You know what I mean? Like tossing me the rock. Like, all right, we just went on tour. Let's drop this album. You know what I mean, let's skyrocket from here. You know what I mean?
Give you that good exposure, so then when your stuff drops, it's there, it's available for a wider audience. They're
Absolutely.
there for it.
Absolutely. That's yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Smart
That's why
man. I love the play.
this dope ass project. Game My Soul was a fire project. Fire project.
What's your
Incredible.
favorite song or verse off of the project, if you can narrow it down?
Oof. I want to probably say my favorite verse is probably active.
That's right.
You know the players stay active.
5 digits on the price tag. Nigga, that's a light bag. Travel for the night, I'm up early, catching flights back. My bitch said her tits don't compliment her ass, so I gave her 10,000 and she bought herself a nice rack. Dodging all these mice traps, cause you don't know who telling pussy come with a price. Depending on who selling, niggas ain't heard about me. I bet that you tell them for them ops and shots. Your way you knock 2 melons. Your crew yelling, motherfucker, turn the heat up. They mad you let a nigga like me snatch a queen up. How you gon' say you got now, nigga, when we up? Tom Dixon tables, kick my feet up. Dior slippers.
Yeah, active verse, definitely probably one of my favorite verses. And Table Talk, the Table Talk verse is fire too.
Yeah, I love that one too, man. That's definitely one of my tops for sure.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate that. As far as like beats and tracks, damn, that Ninth Wonder beat is crazy, man. That Big Monsoon, that beat is very infectious, man. Soul Train, let's not forget Soul Train. Soul Train kind of like started it off.
That was the first single that was released.
It kind of built the momentum
a while ago. Yeah, absolutely. Salute to Rewind on that.
Shout out to Rewind, the president, on that. As you can see, he was definitely on the album a few times. He actually even he did the beats on the intro. He did the intro, and you know, he did a few other joints like the skits or like whatever on some
Stick to the Plan, bro. That's another hard one. Big Monsoon and those two, those like are the hard hitters for sure.
Absolutely. Stick to the Blueprint. Yeah, that shit's fire.
Some bangers right in mix there with a lot of the smooth shit, man. I love it. Let's talk about that Table Talk one though. You know, features some Colorado artists, and it's one of the features. Vino's on there. I just spoke with Vino not too long ago. Talk about kind of how that record came about. Did they send you the beat for that one? Was that one where you guys were all together? How did that come about?
Yeah, we were all they were in New York, actually, in New York City, doing some things, putting in some work out here, and we actually showed up to where they were staying at, and we actually wrote the record and recorded it right there on the spot. And we felt like the record was just so fucking dope. Like the beat was dope, the bars was dope, the concept was dope. We was like, yo, let's see if we could like ask them, yo, let's put this on the album and shit. And you know, sure enough, they fucked with the idea, and yeah, we made it happen. I mean, but it was definitely something where we went over there and we just cooked it up right there on the spot.
Look, yo, Audi S8 when we pass the light. Told with Ninth Wonder, other venues try to match the price. No, I ain't pussy, my nigga, I'm just a passive type. My parents getting old and need me now, not afterlife. I play the game, pray I get it, even half is right. My bitch come thick with a fat ass and an appetite. Designer this, designer that, designer shoes, designer hats. Can't understand her like when designer raps.
Dope, man, dope. Are there any other songs that you can remember where you were there, where like the beat was being made? Were there any other sort of ones like that, or were the beats mostly finished? I know I follow all the producers. I see them, you know, all locking in their home place. Do they all come to you with finished beats, or were you there while they were putting together any of them?
Yes, some of them we were there for when they were putting them together. Like the Khrysis joint, we was there when he put it together. Wrote that on the spot. That Vino joint with Rewind too was on the spot. Like Sticks to the Blueprint was on the spot. But then a few other joints were definitely things that were already made. But the process is crazy because the process is like it's different when you're doing it on the spot than when you're doing it and when it's already made. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whole different vibe.
Talk about that a little bit. I mean, I guess, you know, you were probably doing some recording on tour, recording when you guys were back home in New York, recording in North Carolina for it. So it's not just like you're in the one studio creating the vibe for the whole album. You were sort of all over the map with this one, right?
Yeah. The album was recorded everywhere. We recorded from NC to over here, NY. We even recorded Deep Dish in fucking Chicago when we was over there in the hotel room.
Oh, like, Deep Dish, that makes sense, in Chicago.
Yeah, we recorded that the last day in Chicago we was there. So wrote it right on the spot. I mean, Rewind came and cooked it up in the hotel room, and me and Roos recorded it right there. Wrote and recorded it right there.
Nice, dude. Nice.
That's probably the last record to make the album. It was like, yo, it's just fire.
That was going to be one of my questions, sort of what was one of the last ones. So that's interesting because
The last one, you know?
I know a lot of artists will be working on the album almost up until it comes out. You know, they're still working on getting mixing or the features. So it was finished for quite a few months
Oh, the
before it
album,
actually
yeah,
came out, right?
album was done since like I said, since Deep, this was the last album, the last song to make the album. You know, it was done like in like April
Yeah,
or
around
maybe
summer, spring, right?
summer, yeah, like around June. I forgot when was the last tour, right? When we came back from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say around April, maybe. And we were just waiting on the artwork. The artwork had to be immaculate. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what we was waiting on. Everything was mixed and ready to go, but we was just waiting on the artwork, making sure that shit was fire.
Salute to Huey P. You know, you guys had to get him in there again. Another classic feel. Do you guys? What was the process behind getting the cover artwork? Like you said, it had to be, you know, a certain quality, certain, you know, aesthetic. Do you
Yeah.
guys just give him the album to listen to? You give him sort of what you're looking for? What was that process?
Oh, that's between Moose and Huey. I mean, Moose
Okay.
created that whole joint, so Moose definitely cured that. You can tell that the cover got that Moose flavor on it.
Of course, of course. Yeah, like I said, it's
Yeah, yeah. So
that
you know,
classic
it's
moose.
classic shit. He gonna do that P shit, that Moose shit, and they always gonna come out fire.
Yeah. Nice,
Mm.
man. I like it. I like it. So let's talk about, I mean, I have a few one-liners that I really like.
So,
I believe it was on Loose Birds.
mhm.
Wintertime kept the heater on. Summertime kept the heater on me. Something like that, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey, the flow
Yeah.
on that one, that one's fire. And I know Loose Birds was one of the singles, but within the context of the album, it like hit a little harder for me. I was able to connect with it a little bit more. So that was something interesting to me. I always love getting singles, nothing wrong with that, but I
Yeah,
really like how it fits in the context of the album.
absolutely, absolutely. And the video was
Video too.
it was classy. It was classy. It was classy shit. Classy
Only
P.
type of videos you guys are doing now. What do you mean? That's what you bring.
Sure, for sure, for sure.
I like that active video. What was another one you guys dropped for the project? Soul Train also.
Soul Train, yeah, Soul Train was one of my favorites. That beat hits hard, hits different. It's one of the different records on the album. I like that each song on the album is different from the other. You know what I mean, like each song is a different feel, different flow, different vibe, like different beats. Like it's dope. It's dope.
Absolutely, they definitely do have different vibes and a feel throughout. It's got a good flow to it, and like I said, I like the length. So you know, it's taking you on a journey, bringing us into your world. So you guys accomplished that.
Thank you.
Another song, Well Off. I believe you did the hook on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Pull up in the all white ghost just to scare the ops.
Uh-huh. Take
Take
over.
over and we make it hot.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. That shit hits good. And I don't know why I just put it together yesterday, but it's like Izzy Hott, take over and we make it hot. It just flows. It's fire, man. It feels good. Can't wait to see that one be performed. I need to see a performance of that one.
Yeah, Khrysis, yo, that beat is crazy. Like you hear the choir in the fucking background, that shit crazy, man.
There's a lot going on there, man.
Going on in that beat. That beat is crazy.
Yeah, I was doing
I like it like lately, you know what I mean?
doing some analyzing on the way home yesterday to that one, man, for sure. I mean, we talked about the Vino feature. One of my favorite songs, start to finish, just from the vibe, is Dollars Up, man, featuring Jay Skis.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Talk about how that one came together. He's got the hook on that.
Yeah,
Then it's Moose. You end up finishing the track off. Really fire, though. Talk about that one.
shout out to Funk Sway for producing that record.
Oh, Funk. Yeah. Shout out Funk. Great job, bro.
Yeah, super great job. That was a record that Moose and Jay Skis had put together, and there was an open verse on there. Moose was definitely fucking with the track and wanted to put it on the album. So, you know, he left the verse open. He sent it to me, and I did what I did, and that was that. We put it on the album.
So sequencing the album, was it really sort of like that? The group discussion, like you talked about with you, Moose, and Rewind, sequencing and really
process,
putting it
because you know we
together?
had to make, yeah, absolutely, because we all, you know, when it's three people, it's three different opinions, and we all just trying to make sure that each sound like the song blends in, goes right one after the other. It just had to sound good, it had to make sense sonically. You know what I mean? And eventually we all agreed to the setting, the sequence of what it came out to. You know what I mean? All listen to it. It was a lot of listening to the album. You know what I mean?
I was
A
gonna
lot.
say, I'm sure there were potentially some other sequences, right? That hit a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
absolutely,
differently.
absolutely, absolutely. It was just days, constant days of just listening because we just had to make sure because this is a project that we were putting out ourselves independently. This wasn't backed by, like Knife. This wasn't a project with a Khrysis or like someone famous. This was a project that we were putting out ourselves. So we were real, we were real adamant about making sure like all these songs were fire, all these beats was fire, like everything had to sound good.
Does that process get tiring at all? I mean, I know it's your own music, but I, I've been an artist. I've been in the studio with artists when they're recording, and they'll play that beat 500 times in a row. You know what I mean? At
Yeah.
some point, it's like a little much for me. You know what I mean? I got to take a step out, whatever it be. So like sequencing the album, does that get tiring at some point? Trying to get that together?
Um, nah, cause I love the art. You know what I mean, it's just like a regular day of me listening to my favorite albums. When you got a favorite album that just came out, you're gonna burn the shit out that album. You know what I mean, so that's how I feel about this album. It's my favorite album, so I'm gonna keep listening to this shit. And I'm gonna listen. Me listening, putting the sequence together is like me listening to it on shuffle. You know what I mean,
True,
it's
true.
how it is. Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about, the Spotify plays and like the numbers and stuff like that. So I was looking at the individual tracks a few days ago. It might have changed, but I'm sure it's probably pretty similar. So Loose Birds had the most plays
Mhm.
on the album. And the second most plays, which I found interesting, was Diamond Cocktails, which is the last song on the album.
Yeah.
Now you would think, or I would think, sort of logically speaking, if somebody goes and they play the album, you would think the first song might have the most amount of plays and, it would kind of taper off towards the end. I find it
Yeah.
very interesting that the last song has the second most plays. That one features Eddie James. Are the Seven Newsboys just running that one up, or what's good with that
Yeah.
one, man? That's another great track. Talk about that one.
Shout out to Eddie James, man. That boy different, man. That boy different. As far as Diamond Cocktails go, yeah, I have no explanation for it, man. It might be on a playlist playing crazy. Like, I have no explanation for it. All I know is that it's one of the more different songs on the album, but we feel like that was a great way to end the album. And I mean, just kind of catch people off guard, and at the same time give them a different sound to what we're trying to say. I mean, trying to talk.
Another funk sway produced joint, man.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's fire.
That boy Funky, man.
Stays funky, man. He's doing a lot of good work there too out in NYC. So we're gonna catch up with him soon, 2023. We got some more producer talk coming, but we here with Izzy Hott right now. Conversations with TMac. Thank you all for tuning in right now. So let's get to a few more questions about Game Not Sold. How much intention went into sort of who went on the hook for each track? Was it just like, yo, I'm feeling this one, I got this? Was that another like collaborative thing where you guys battling it out with the hooks to see, who came with it? What was that?
Nah. We just when we putting the records together, it's just whoever had it had it. That's just what it was. Like Moose had the idea, we went with it. I had an idea, we went with it. I mean, that's if it sounded good, if it made sense, we stuck with it. That's just how it is, man. Because we trust each other's, talent. I mean, if Moose got a hook for him, yo, go right ahead. I mean, I ain't gonna question it. I mean, do it. I know what you're gonna do, and it's vice versa. Like he know what I'm gonna do. So that's how it really went down.
Yeah, you guys been working with each other for a long time, so I don't imagine it was too
Very well.
difficult to come to a consensus on whatever it was.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Nice, dude. So like I mentioned, I saw somebody did like a review out video of the album. People are now like doing reactions to your music. I know a lot of hip hop blogs do write-ups and stuff like that. There's a lot of like underground blogs and websites that shine light on artists like yourself. Do you look into that stuff at all? Do you try to stay away from it? Now that you are sort of getting more of a platform and noticed more, how do you go about that?
I definitely look into it. Does it affect me? Not really, but I definitely look into it because I want to see what people think about the project. I want to hear what they're saying. You know what I mean? Because we did put a lot of work into it. And I'm just always be like that about my work. I mean, I want to know what people think. I want to make sure we're putting out quality music and the people fucking with it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I'm sure you obviously got a lot of great reaction that, oh, I love this song, I love that. But was there something specific somebody said in a review or a tweet that stuck out to you that maybe caught you off guard about the project, a comment that they made about it?
Not that I could recall. Not that I could recall, to be honest with you.
Just a lot of good, like, positive feedback mostly.
Yeah. I mean, and just like with everything, you got to take the good with the bad. And I mean, there's gonna be people that like it. There's gonna be people that don't like it, and it's like that with everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You talked about when you performed in LA, that was like your favorite spot, but your eyes were sort of opened to like possibilities, something like that. Is that, or one of the questions I have here, was there a turning point for you, maybe when you were in the studio with Ninth or Khrysis, where like maybe your confidence went up a level, or you felt like, hey, I'm really supposed to be here? Maybe you walked into the room feeling a certain way, but then you left sort of with a different confidence and like at a different level. Was there ever like that turning point for you?
Yeah, I would probably say SOBs. When we did that first show, I had a one-on-one with Knife. Something he said that stuck with me. I kind of put a little battery on my back, and I could say, yo, like just being on tour, like LA, like the way they was fucking with us, the way it was fucking with Moose, like you have to be there to really see it. Like this, like we really got something.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But definitely, it was SOBs that night. The Ninth was talking to me about something. So that was a turning point right there.
That's dope, man. Thank you for that insight. I've been to quite a few shows at SOBs. Would have been dope to be there for that one, but that's a legendary spot, man. Like every artist, that's almost like a stamp of approval, right? To go through SOBs,
Yeah, absolutely.
especially for being a New York artist,
Yeah, facts. Shout out to Moose, man. Shout out to Moose, man, because this wouldn't be possible without him. I mean, he's been putting in that work. He's been definitely putting in that work, shining. I mean, allowing his niggas to get their shine on too.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Big salute to Musalini, Pharaoh Music Group, man. Game Not Sold. You guys did your thing on that, man. I love it.
Yes, sir. Thank
Game
you.
Not Sold 2, maybe. I mean, you said you recorded a lot of songs. How many extras songs would you say were like sort of recorded for the project that were left off?
Damn. Shit. I don't know. Damn.
Hard to put a number on it, huh?
I don't know what you think. I got Rewind here in the background. I mean, he in the building.
Salute, rewind, peace.
Yo, so what you think? We doing like 2 albums worth. Just like probably 2 albums worth,
Game Not Sold 2 and 3 in the clip.
And still not sold.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
dude.
Mhm.
Izzy, well, I mean, we got to a lot of the questions, talked about a lot of the tracks on the project. Is there anything else about the project that you want to like leave the people with?
Yo, just listen to that shit, vibe to that shit, share that shit. Um, like I said, it's a dope project. The beats are fucking immaculate. The bars is fly, and just you gonna love it. Y'all gonna love it for real, for real. Just look out for all the shit we're gonna drop 2023. You know what I mean? Because we've been working, and it's the element of surprise. Look, we dropped that shit. We dropped that shit with no promo at all. No promo at all.
Very quickly out of nowhere. It went from like, here's the cover, Game Not Sold this date. Like it was,
Man, the
yeah.
next day, album drop. What happened? We cracked the top 100 on iTunes, on hip hop albums. So it's that says enough about the album. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You guys can go stream that on all platforms. Go buy that on Apple Music. I'm sure you could buy it in places like that. Will there be physicals? Is there a plan to get some vinyls or any sort of physicals merch for the album?
Yeah. The vinyls and the physicals is coming out. The vinyls
Okay.
coming out. So look out for the post on that.
Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for that, people. Izzy Hott 2023. So what else is to come? We kind of touched on a lot of it. Just tell me what you're planning on for 2023, man.
I'm dropping a few projects. Like I said, I've been working with Khrysis, working with my producers. I don't know exactly what lane I'm gonna go with yet, but it's pretty much stuff done already. You know what I mean?
Are you sort of hinting at a fully produced Khrysis album, or you have a lot of tracks with Khrysis?
That's to be continued.
Okay, people.
That's to be continued. That's to be
all right. So more music, but touring, obviously, you know, I'm not sure if this will come out before that January show, but hey, we're looking for another Don and I tour or something similar to that effect, man. I'm looking forward. The people are looking for it, man. Anything else in 2023 that we need to look out for?
Just look out for more music, more fly shit, man. That new 9th album coming out. I mean, we might have another Khrysis coming out. We got a lot of joints coming out. A whole bunch of joints coming out. We just coming out. 2023, Pharaoh Music. Most is. Let's do this.
That's it. Let's do this. All right, I got one more question for you.
Sure.
What was your favorite or the best meal that you had while you were out on tour?
Damn. Might have to be that Gibson steak. Oh shit, that $80 Gibson steak.
Where's that at?
That was at the Gibson. That was at the Gibson. You don't have to Google that. The Gibson in Chicago.
Chicago. Okay. Yeah, I was just looking for a general location. Yeah. The Gibson, Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.
Nice, dude. Hey, when we in Chicago, we got to try that out.
Let's go.
Your opinion on the pizza? Obviously, you guys got a deep dish, the song Deep Dish. Did you have the deep dish pizza out there? What's your opinion?
Damn, son, you know what? It's gonna hurt me to say this, but I ain't even have no pizza when I was out there.
Hey, it's all good.
I missed out on that on that month. I missed out on that. Like I missed out on that moment. You know what I mean? Okay. I don't know if it was because I took a later flight or I don't know what happened. I just know I wasn't there for that moment. I missed it. I might catch it again. Who knows? Let's see.
Hey, you going on tour again, man? You're gonna get it.
Jordan retired and he went back to Chicago. Like, so I might go back to Chicago. Who knows?
Pull up in that all-white ghost just to scare the ops. We take over and we make it hot. We take over and we make it hot. We take over and we make it hot. Pull up in that all-white ghost just to scare the ops. We take over and we make it hot. We take over and we make it hot. That's right. We take over and we make it hot.